All right, you're only getting it once today. All right, hold on. Let's do this. Perfect. All right, let's go. So, you got a lot going on today. Obviously, we have GDP coming out, and that's going to be a big deal. I don't. Let's just get this going here, and we'll drive this up to this area, and then we'll move this over. And let me just see something here. Do I need any of this? You might as well just keep it all and drop you right in there, and we'll drop you in here as well. Good. All right, cool. And then let's go to this and go here. Perfect. Where do I want to start? There's so much to get into. I think the best place for us to start is the ES and the levels, and then we'll go from there. I expect the data to be super light, and then I expect it to kind of take off and then go from there. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. And CEO of NVO is going to be on TV. Surprised this thing's not up more. It's really fascinating to me. Like, that's it. Like, that's all you're going to do on this. Like, it's really big news, and no one seems to care. So, fine by me. I mean, 10% does not really seem to, be a lot. I don't know, man. It's really kind of interesting, to say the least. So, on the ES, you're obviously above our level. I mean, I guess people are like, oh, 10%'s a lot. Is it? We obviously flipped that one. And we're pretty much above them all. So, there's not really much more to say there. Every single one of those levels you're above now. And I think that's super important. What do we got going on here? Still live on disk. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And oh, hold on. I got to make sure that the mic's flipped, because that'll happen sometimes. No, I got the right mic. All right, we're good. Sorry, guys. Heads up, because sometimes the mic will flip. So I think that, this is your range, and we'll have to see how that goes. And we'll have to, we'll have to see how this really plays out. I mean, there it is. It doesn't really get any cleaner than what you have to watch today, does it? So I wouldn't put anything, past that. And I really think that should be your focal point. I think less is more, candidly, the more I'm watching the market and how they're just whacking things around. Today, they make it super hard on days like today. I don't know that I'm going to go in the hole a lot today for things that I'm trading, meaning like I'm up fairly decent on some of these names, and I'm just watching them, like on some of these trades I did this morning. And like, if they go back to break even, I'm just going to wind up kicking them, just staying out of the way and let this all kind of figure out what it wants to do. And then kind of getting involved again. I don't think it makes sense to do a tremendous amount unless you kind of pull back here, and then we'll go from there. And I think you're kind of landlocked here with this. We'll clean this off and start over, but just so people can see how I'm doing it. And let me just see something. So take a look at this again, get back to it. And you can see again, you're still having some issues here. It's worth the moment to kind of go through this. Why won't you work properly? Why are you annoying me today? There we go. Fits the screen now, doesn't it? You're really above everything that you need to be above. So I don't think it makes sense to get through it. I just would say that I don't know that you're really going to go anywhere. And so if we're not going to go anywhere, I don't know that it makes sense for us to really do a lot. Like, I don't know that you want to pot commit here without really seeing, you know, I'm just going through that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know you're going anywhere. I think you have to look at the names individually and kind of go from there. And I don't even know that you're going to get the kind of movement that you want today that's going to be worth your time. I just don't see it that way. So, you know, I think a lot of people got bamboozled yesterday by thinking that Trump was going to go out there and do Space Force 2 or something. Let me just go through this real quick. Durable goods, crushed. GDP's through the roof. Like GDP's 4.3 versus 3.3. Like GDP just crushed. Let's see what the market did on this. See if it does anything at all. Personal consumption's up. Yeah, I mean, GDP crushed. I don't think anybody cares. I'd probably be looking at the exact opposite reaction. So you probably bounce on it. All those numbers were good. They're saying negative 2.2 on durable goods now. Corporate profits 4.4, 3.7. GDP sales 4.6. Let's do it this way. It'll just be easier if I do it this way. Shrink this down. Give me a sec here. Then we can go through it together. Yay! I love when we do stuff together. EP employment change weekly. I mean, who really cares? Durable goods month over month. That being down is kind of interesting. The first way that read was not that it was down, so that's super interesting. If we look at corporate profits, that's a big number. Durable goods doesn't really seem to be able to go anywhere. Pardon me. GDP sales, second estimate, 4.6. PCE prices, 2.8. Real consumer spending. I mean, you're pretty much, it's a pretty decent number. I mean, the big one's going to be the GDP price index right here and the growth rate of 4.3 versus a 3.3 comparison. That's freaking huge. Durable goods being off, super interesting. So, I mean, that's a big number in, you know, you're cutting rates into that. I don't know. It's like you're cutting rates into increased productivity. I wonder if there was ever a time in history where you did that before. Cough, cough, 90s. All right. Let's take questions and then we'll get to this clam bake here. Get this party started. I'll take a lot of questions. I'll do it fast. Yeah, I own cruise lines. I think I'm doing quite well with that trade, and I don't see any reason for that to change. I think the airlines are moving because what's happening with the airlines is there's a direct correlation between the airlines going up and if I just go here and throw crude on a chart. If you go out there and put crude on a chart, you can see that pretty clearly. That as crude drops, what happens? Jets go up. I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. It's the same with like crude drops, cruise lines will go up, right? So there's definitely something to it. That's for sure. So we'll see how it goes. I do like the cruise lines though. Yeah, I just don't know that you're going to get anywhere like huge. Let's do hubs and real. Lamb I own, as you know. I don't know. I don't know that these things are really going to break through these huge walls up here today and do anything of consequence. Um, I really don't. I just I'm not getting that feeling. Yeah, this is like a website, right? I guess. I don't know. I guess all the crazy kids are going to it. You crazy kids with your websites. Um, I don't know. I think there's better money to be spent out there and better things, but I mean, it is killing it. Hubs. That's not really my kind of trade. Maybe in January after the tax selling's done, you're getting a ton of tax selling here, and you're fighting that. So you probably like nobody's up in that trade, so you're getting a ton of tax selling. What the heck just dropped on me? Okay. I wouldn't be chasing that. RKLB, I tried that already again. I tried it last night and it didn't bounce. And then I tried it this morning and you're already fading. I think you're going to get pretty washed out here early. I think people are going to blow this stuff out pretty hard this morning, the way it's looking. So what you'd really want to do is you just want to wait and then find levels, where that could possibly hold. But, this is when you trade them when you got them in markets like this. It just seems like nobody knew. I don't know. Let me rephrase that. The right people didn't. The right people knew because this thing was up. For the past 2 days, this thing went up 50 points. Right. The right people knew that he was going to, build a new aircraft carrier. But well, we'll see. I don't know. But it seems like everyone was expecting some kind of like Space Force 2 or something last night. I don't know. I don't know where they were going with it, but everyone seemed like so disappointed that, he's not putting more, satellites and lasers with sharks with lasers. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Apparently you're not getting that. So, it is what it is. Um, some of this stuff's going to really get whacked off the open, it looks like. So let it get whacked. And then you kind of pick up the pieces, right? I think that's what you're better off doing. I think that makes the most sense and kind of going from there. I don't think that there's anything more to it than that. I'll go through some more of this stuff here. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think there's anything more to it than that when I start to look at it. But I think you're going to bounce around a lot today, and because tomorrow's a half day too, so they're really going to screw around with you today. Understand that. What do you got here, John? Lulu, I own. I wouldn't touch FedEx. I think it's too hard. The TPL makes a lot of sense. TPL makes a ton of sense to me. So, we'll see. I'm just trying to see what's going on here, guys. If I have anything of interest, you might want to see if ASTS holds the previous. That's a call wall. See if it holds it. Lulu, I like. Merck. These names, you're seeing a ton of money go into them. A ton of money is going into pharma. It's really boring for me, but it is probably going to work. So, that's interesting. All right, what else you got here? NBIS. I don't know. You need to be in a hurry here, man. Like, what's the hurry? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I just keep going through this and looking like, do I need to do this now? Like, is really now that do I really need to do this? I mean, there's a chance that holds in here. There is a chance that this holds, but to where? You know what I mean? To like up to here? Like, okay. Like, do I really want to play that game? Do I really want to like, you know what I mean? Do I really want to buy this here for maybe $10? Maybe. I mean, to be blunt, no, I don't. I see the divergence, like I've seen it, but I just don't think there's enough meat on the bone with some of these moves here to really lure me in to take that kind of risk. And I'd be super careful today. You're at the top end of the Nasdaq, and you have a big thing up there. It's just like stopping the Nasdaq from going higher. So, I also think some of this stuff is like, I think it's super interesting, but I do think some of it, you want to be super careful here today. They're going to whack us around. That's pretty clear. They're going that way this morning. I'm just looking at this and seeing if there's something else that I'm missing, and I don't see that yet. UUUPP. Yeah. Out of those names, I mean, I'll do the ONDS. I don't really think that there's any real edge to this trade whatsoever right now, like at all. So it's not really something that I have any interest in. Like even a little bit. I just don't. Yeah, I don't really see the appeal to this name. Um, I just don't. Like I'm trying to find the appeal to this. I really just don't see it. I know you guys are trading it. The PPTA makes a lot of sense to me. Gold as a whole, makes a lot of sense to me. I would imagine that that's probably going a lot higher. I don't know why it wouldn't go higher. There's definitely a huge disconnect here between gold and Bitcoin now. You can see that, and that's probably going to continue. So, I mean, it's been a long time since we had that, right? You go through history, it's pretty rare, but you're getting there now. You get this like kind of trough valuation where it kicks in, but for the past 2 years now, gold's kicking, Bitcoin's butt. So much for a store value. I think people have to be super careful with this, like the Bitcoin now, and people are a little delusional about this stuff. And that can keep going. So I don't know. I think gold makes way more sense. Way more sense. I don't know, Aaron. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I think they're just going to really just bonk us around more than anything. You're really at the top end of a range, and I'm not really sure that they're going to break us out into this. Is really kind of where my head is. Miami Shores is nice. Oh, you're in Miami. I don't know why I thought Miami Shores. You can, but I just think you're better off just buying gold. Like there's other ways to buy that gold. I think it's JLDX. Is that it? There's like a JLDJ. Like there's other ways to buy that gold that's super cheaper than just buying GLD. I used to know them. I have them written down somewhere because the GLD, the cost structure is there. So there's other ETFs. I have them written down somewhere. Let me see if I can find them real quick. That's a really good segue to me going and heat my coffee too, because I'm getting annoyed with cold coffee. Give me 1 sec here. Let me just go through this file super quick. I know I got something in here somewhere. Is that's what it was. That's the one. It's IAU is the one to do. You do IAU, and the reason that you do this one over gold. The reason you do that one over gold is its relationship. I have the breakdown somewhere. I'll go through them all in a minute. I have 3 of them, and then I'll go through with you that make way more sense than GLD. Give me a minute, and then I'll grab this. The first one's IAU. I throw all this stuff in Google Docs and then I sort it. And people say I should use Notion to do it. Maybe they're right, but I like Google Docs, so I can just type it all in. IAU, GLD is 40 basis points that you're giving up. IAU, it's the same exact thing. It's like exactly the same. It's 25 basis points. I think that makes way more sense, for sticking, I also like the idea that not only that, but for, if you buy 1,000 shares, there's 400 grand. You buy, 400,000 of this, 6,000 shares roughly. So you're definitely getting more bang for your buck as far as the percentage trade. But also you might not want to be, you might say, I don't want to spend that kind of money, or I can't spend that kind of money. This is cheaper. The other one is this one, SGOL. Hold on, SGOL. That one has a 17 expense ratio. They also don't store their gold in the US, if that's like something you're afraid of. They store it's all physical gold. It's actual physical gold. And they store it in Switzerland. So that would be the other one. And then there's this one. And I think this is a Goldman fund. Yeah. And they're the cheapest on the street or one of the cheapest. They're at 0.18. SGOL is the cheapest out there. And they store in Switzerland. I don't know if that's a big deal to you or not. You also have to think about, do you care about volume? Is volume going to matter to you, right? So, when you start looking at some of this stuff, I don't know if that's a thing. I also don't know the requirements. This is an ETF. So they're all ETFs, so it's not going to matter. So you're still going to get the same requirement. Give me 1 second here while we just did that, because I have a trade on here. And I was up here once and it rejected it. So I just want to see, are you going to reject me again? Or are you going to get through and you're going to stop your nonsense? Because if you're going to reject me again, I'm not in the mood. I'm just going to take my toys and go home. So it's up to you, big guy. What are you going to do? These days are so tricky. It's a big buy.
Order partially filled.
All right. So let's just cut some of it there, just in case. And then we'll be able to figure out what the heck you're really going to do there. Because I really don't feel like dealing with that today. But you should push there. And if you're not going to push there, then you can go scratch. I'm moving on with my life. Let me get my coffee. You're going to get some pretty wild moves today, guys, with stuff because of how thin things are. But I think I should put that out there, like SGOL, AUA. I've done this before, but I think that's, I don't think I want to be in this one. I forget why I don't want to be in this one. I forget why I don't want to be in it. There was something with it, though, that I don't want to be with. I forget what it was, though. But whatever. There was a reason for it. Oh my God, that's so much better. All right, let's keep going here. What time is it? I got to go at 9. I don't know that you want to short. I don't know what you want to do today. I think you want to be hyper focused on individual names and key levels. I think if I could tell you the one thing that's going to drive the market today, it's going to be that. Yep, here you go with your nonsense. Here you come with your BS today. And I got something for you. I got something for you right there. Yep, there you go. There you go. And all your BS. Go to town. Enough of that nonsense. That's how we got there. Bill got us there with that little tirade. All right, cool. Yeah, the thing with I don't know that that's the move. They've got him trapped. Cool. SSRM, this should actually be a lot higher. This really doesn't make a lot of sense to me at all, frankly. I was looking at this one. They have these silver mines, gold mines. Stock was up here in October. Here's silver. Where was silver in October? Here. Now, where was gold in October? Here. So when I look at like SR, it doesn't make any sense. I think it should be a lot higher. You can go through these companies and find out who makes what pulling gold out of the ground, which is super interesting. But you can do that. Okay. I don't know why you're there. I don't know why you're annoying me. 1 second, guys. We parted ways. I don't know why you're hanging on there. Not hanging on there anymore, are you? It's the end of that nightmare. So, nectar of the gods. Hello from Tokyo. Yeah, a couple things. The NDX is supposed to rebalance today. I think that is super interesting. I don't know here if I don't know what I would do here. I think that's, you can try it. I mean, it does look fairly decent. Like you got something going on there. The HII, it's very clear that people knew this was coming. If you take a look at what's going on out there, as I'm sure he's going to name the thing after himself. I'm pretty sure that's where this is going. So, with this new aircraft carrier. But I really think at the end of the day here with this, like truly, I think that you have to think about like how much of this is baked in. And I don't know how much. Is it really 55 already? I don't know how much of it's baked in. And then go from there. So we'll have to see. I don't know, man. I don't know that I'd play that today. I was seriously thinking about it, but I don't know if today's the day or not. I think there's other stuff out there that's interesting, but I don't know if that's the one that I would play. They are the only ones that can make it. They really are the only ones that can make a ship. Yeah, I'm not really, can this stuff continue to push? It can. I think you have to realize why it's doing what it's doing, but yeah, it can. The question becomes like, how much volume are you really going to get today with some of this stuff? And I'm not sure that you're going to get a lot. And I think that's going to present opportunity for people that are pretty damn nimble. Good morning from Hawaii. Good morning from Miami. Kansas City. Good morning from Miami. TLT, I would stay away from. I think the high-end market's hosed, dude. I read this article, and it was really good. And it was like really good article. And it really talked about like the long end duration. Who wrote it? I think it was written by KKR. I read it this weekend. But the long end is nobody wants it anymore. Nobody wants the long end anymore. They're all buying gold as their hedge and commodities as their hedge. So KKR was saying you should be buying copper. You should be buying silver. Copper was the number one thing they said to buy. I think we're going to look at this and realize that this was like the trade of a lifetime. I really do. I feel that way. Like when I look at FCX after that meltdown, I'm literally kicking myself when I go back and think about it. Like, man, this was the easiest setup in the world. Like this was such an easy setup. SCCO, I really feel that way. So I don't look at the long end anymore. I think when you think long end, man, I think when you think long end, Walter, I think you almost want to think commodities now because it's all about the short end now. I like Sophie. You are a regional bank. I will say this between like going to Sophie and Coin and what was the other one? Hood, and trying to open up an account, and where I saw the most value out of all of these places, like the most value out of all those kinds of places to me was having an account at Sophie. Like they just made life so damn easy when you go and like, because I go through these things when you crazy kids start trading them just to see like, hey, what's, why is this one the cat's pajamas or the ant's pants? Why do I feel like I'm hunched over? Here we go. We're going up. Yay. So I really liked this. Like I was like, oh man, I'm keeping this one. The only place I ever used an account like that I really liked, I think the other one that I thought was really good was Gemini, but they're not public. But I'd buy them in seconds if they went public. So technically, do I need to trade it? Why? Like, where's it going? I don't know. I don't think that you do. Well, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. A construction worker and farmer from Canada. Hello from Miami. We have a bunch of people from Canada there. Small business owner. Enjoy your content. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That's the whole purpose of doing this. Trying to get through to people. It's been super rewarding, and I'm having a blast. I'm not going to lie. I'm having a lot of fun. So I appreciate your comments. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I really like the name. I got to get to book value. I got to get there. People start buying it around here, but if you can buy this at book value and you don't, you just got to sit with it when it happens. I don't know that you're going to make a killing on it, but the thing about it is, like, you are never, ever, ever going to be able. Is this company private or public? Armis. They're on the London exchange. Is there an ETF here or anything? Armis Group. I don't think there is. ServiceNow is buying a company called Armis. So the book value they're saying is around $25. The book value has been growing at roughly 10% per year over the past 10 years. So like if you like what you're buying here is you're buying next year's book value, and that's where it stops. If you're ever able to get this thing like here, and you can see that it never gets there, you're like crazy not to. If you're like a super long-term person, because you can never replicate what they own. It's impossible. So I love the name for like long-term people. Like when you're super long-term, like you just buy it and you just hold on to it. And you can see like here's Thursday, you're getting 45 cents, and in every quarter you're just getting like $2. So you're getting like 8% or 9%, something like that. But I want to buy it at book value. So anytime it gets near there, you'll see they just snap the hell out of it. They don't really let it get there. So, I mean, the time to buy this, like the time that you'll never see again was here. Like you'll never, ever see that again in your lifetime, like ever. I don't believe so, unless there's some massive attack or something, on Vegas. But what's up, man? Yeah, the video's not going anywhere. I really like that name. DGNX. Please don't be a penny stock. Please don't be a penny stock. I don't know anything about it. I literally know nothing about it. What do you have? You got crazy volume? What are you crazy kids looking at this morning? It's not something I would go near, I don't think, but you never know. GDNX. You got some like you're percolating, but I don't know. I don't know enough about it to talk intelligently, Mom. Yeah, I thought that would be a lot higher. I just kicked it. I made like 50, 60 cents. I'll come back to it. I thought it would have been a lot higher. I don't want to play games this morning. I like the drone stocks a lot. I think that I'm going to get a shot at them today because everyone's disappointed that he wants to build a destroyer. I don't think we're going anywhere today. I really don't think we're going anywhere today, buddy. I think we're going to bonk around. I'm going to have to jump here. I got to get in the room. It should have rallied and it didn't. D-Pro, we started trading cheap, real cheap, but not now. I don't know. I'm not going to do a whole lot today. I say that, and then I'll do like all these trades. Yeah, I'm doing it again, bro. We're getting there. Thursdays are probably going to be educational days. I think they're going to be formal educational videos for 26. And then I think once a month, we're just going to do like a workshop on Thursdays, like an open workshop that people sign up for. That's going to be like free. That's where I think it's going. I think I'd be super helpful to get people there. The Starfleet Academy. I'm just going through this. There's platinum's up. You have more buyers and sellers in platinum. That's why platinum's up. Follow me for more tips. Commodities, buddy. That's why. Yeah, it's IAU. I just went through them all. You heard me. I'm behind in the comments, bro. What do I do? Upload all your docs into Notebook LM, and then you can ask it questions. Oh, that's cool. Where are you now, man? Fort Lauderdale is beautiful. Sometimes I lived there for about a year before I moved to Miami. I liked it. Much easier to walk around, much easier to get around. I do think about moving up that way again, or maybe Palm Beach. The traffic around here is killing me. Like it's real. I either have to commit to moving it back into like a Brickell or move into like South of Fifth. Because the traffic around here is just like brutal, it really is. Like it's really, and they can't make it any bigger because of where you're at. So you either have to pot commit by living there and just saying, okay, I'm going to walk, and that's it. So today, what are we drinking? Today, this is Starbucks Christmas blend, and there's a difference between Christmas blend and holiday blend. Okay. What am I drinking? All right, let's talk. Let's talk coffee. Give Vietnamese Fin filter coffee. I don't put milk in it. Why would I put milk in it? It gets in the way of all the caffeine. You're killing me. You're killing me right now. I don't think you're getting through 500. I don't know that I would short it. Yeah, of course. Anytime, man. I'm sure it'll be gold too. It'll be gold with tassels so everyone can see it coming. It'll make perfect sense. Merry Christmas, Lynn. Columbia. It's got insane. Yeah, up that way. You're seeing a lot of people up that way. Delray's really nice. Delray's too Margaritaville for me. Like I can get it for like a weekend, but like walking around, I don't know. It's going to get old. Like I was up there for like a weekend. I'm like, okay, I get it, but I don't know. I think it would weigh. I think it would weigh on me. I love when we do stuff together. Yeah. Black and strong like my soul. All right, that's it. See you tomorrow. Make good choices.